Hi, I'm Paul Sims, and I'm here with
Joe Furey.
And Stephen Root.
And Al Higgins.
And Lou Morton.
And this episode was one of the we had Lauren Graham, who's now on Gilmore Girls, on for I think a 6-episode arc because well, first of all, I think she's funny and she's a good actress, but that's not really the reason we had her on.
She wasn't on that long.
I think it was 6
Yeah,
episodes.
was it?
It was definitely, yeah.
But at the beginning of the season, Warren Littlefield, then the president of NBC, said, "You know what your show really needs is like a femme fatale,
A hot
like
babe.
a hot babe who provides competition for Lisa and kind of shakes things up in the office." And we said, "Oh, all right, you're the president, we have to do that." And then when the TV season started, we realized that he'd said that to every single one of his NBC comedies, and every one of them had some kind of femme fatale on it. But I still thought, whatever her name was. I thought Lauren Graham was still pretty good.
She was good.
That's what I have to say about that.
Well, behind the scenes of this whole DVD, Paul said Heather Graham first, and we had to redo it.
We had to restart the session.
So that's a little
because of
behind
that.
the scenes of the behind the scenes.
I thought you were going to save that for the commentary on the
Oh, the
commentary
commentary,
discs that come out in 2008.
And are we
So I
talking about
guess,
Dave's wig in this at all?
I don't know if he's still wearing the wig at this point.
No,
Is
he's
he?
got funny colored hair, so
Yeah.
I think this is his hair, but it's just funny colored.
Yeah, when we began this season,
No, that's real. Yeah,
which I'm
that's
sure
real,
we'll talk about in another episode. David just finished being in from the Earth to the Moon,
Right.
Which
I was
Stephen
in.
which
was in,
Stephen was
too.
in
Yeah,
also.
we both did that.
The miniseries about
From the Earth to the Moon.
outer space or something.
The moon and
No, it was
Jupiter.
Tom Hanks' HBO miniseries.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Dave had a crew cut when he came back to work, and and
Baker.
also it was dyed black.
and Stephen had the moon when he came back.
That's right. So we had to put a.
Well, I wasn't nude in my episode. He was in his.
Was he?
Tell me about it. I saw it.
Was he really?
He was.
I
had no
didn't
idea.
see
You
that.
saw his stuckus.
Wow.
Delicious.
It's a very good thing.
Lou, you're Jewish. What
Yes.
is a shtukas exactly?
A Stukas?
No, it's
Tuckish.
tuckish.
Oh, tukas.
Tuckus is something horrible.
Well,
or
here, we should
wonderful.
probably talk about this. There,
It's a behind.
yeah.
Now
Was
we
this
can
the
move
first
on.
one that she was in?
This is the second one.
The
That she
second
was
one
in.
she was in. Okay.
And the guy behind her is Paul Gleason, the actor.
Paul
Oh,
Gleason,
yeah.
tremendous
Who
actor.
we wanted because you'll remember him from, and now I'm not going to remember.
He was in a movie,
Was
right?
it Ferris? Was
Yes,
he the
Ferris
Ferris
Bueller.
Bueller?
Absolutely.
I think it was
Sure.
Ferris
I couldn't
Bueller.
Who
remember.
was he
it
in Ferris Bueller?
It was one of those John Hughes movies.
He was one of the, I think
Wasn't
he
he
was
the-
one of the guys
wasn't he
who
the
was the
principal?
truant officer.
No,
I think
no,
he was
no,
like-
no.
Oh, that's the other guy.
World's greatest mom.
Yeah.
All right, so hold it. Oh, this was the year that before we started shooting for the season, we went to New York for
Oh, right.
about 3
That's
days and
right.
shot things on location.
I forgot about that.
And that
Wow.
building is at Broadway and I think 41st or 40th Street, but they've redone the whole outside. So if you walk past it now, it doesn't look anything like that.
But Andy's still in that garbage.
Yes.
pit?
That's kind of funny. That was a lot of money to spend on just a few little
Yeah, we did
jokes
that for.
we did.
We redid the opening credits too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
And
did
then we
all
ended
of
up
those.
not using it a lot because it ended up being too long.
Did you get that motorcycle
Right.
bit then, too?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a
right.
motorcycle.
I think we did them all the same day. Right there.
Oh, we did.
And like-
I think we only shot one.
Yeah, I think
one,
it was
one
it.
or 2 days. That was it.
Joe Furey, who's sitting here with us, wrote this. Joe, what was your inspiration in writing this episode?
A little gentleman named Mark Russell.
Oh, that's right. This is the episode in which
This was the whole. I can tell you the
ahead.
exact story of how this actually happened. Was
Perfect.
Go
for
ahead.
years.
Nobody wants to hear this.
No, for years, Paul and I used to work on late night with David Letterman together, and we always joked about Mark Russell, and I was always like imitating him or something, or we were both doing some kind of dumb thing imitating him. And so this was during the hiatus, and I suddenly turned on the TV, and there was an episode of a Mark Russell special on, and Paul was literally driving back from New York to L.A., and I called him on the cell phone and said, I've got a great idea.
That's right.
I got a great idea for an episode. I told him, talk to me. He was like in Utah or something. He's like, really? Yeah, okay, let's talk. And then it ended up being this, is how it ended up.
Oh, that was the road trip that Paul drove across the United States only at night. Because he slept
true.
all the time.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's right. And as a matter of fact, the Mark Russell thing was on at like 10 o'clock at night or something, and I called you at like 10 o'clock at
It's
night.
just a
But
different way to see the USA, you know?
With untimely glaring
darkness.
lights.
that was kind of the where this came from.
And then, of course, as you'll see once Bill starts singing the songs, we ran into the main technical problem, which is
He didn't know how to play the piano.
No, not
Which
that.
leads us to our, which actually, now that I'm remembering it, leads us to our title of the show. The reason the show is called The Public Domain
I remember.
is because we had all kinds of songs that we were writing, and we couldn't use any of them because they were not in public domain.
if you
we
use-
only
if-
had to use public domain songs.
Yeah, if you use a real song, you have to pay, $50,000 or something. But there are certain songs out there that are public domain, like "Row, Row, Row Your Boat,"
Johnny, row your boat ashore.
or "When Johnny Comes Marching Home."
Oh, yeah.
That are so old and ancient
Yes.
that they're essentially free, so you can use them. So
no one cares.
So every song parody that Bill did had to be done to one of those songs.
That's right.
And but surprisingly, when you think about those songs, a little detail: the song "Happy Birthday" is not in the public domain.
No.
that
No,
costs a
it's
lot of
not.
money to use
Yeah,
that.
somebody
That's
copyrighted
that's
that.
why in TV shows, when it's someone's birthday, they always sing "For He's a Jolly Good Fellow."
Or they sing "Happy Birthday on Your Birthday" or something, which I think we did in one of these shows. Didn't we? Didn't somebody sing that? There's the piano.
Well, I remember him being Phil being really nervous about this episode because he couldn't play, and he didn't get a lot of time to practice pretend playing. So by Thursday, he kind of insisted that we have a piano instead of a piece of paper where he was.
It's funny because pretend piano playing seems to be the easiest thing in the world. And here's the second story, which is Jimmy's decided to have a documentary made about himself.
That's right.
Now, the gentleman who played the camera operator,
Oh, yeah.
someone recognized him later as
A porn?
I don't remember exactly what it was.
I think that was a rumor. I don't know if
No,
that was
no.
true. Was it?
No, I think he was in some. I
think he
don't
was-
think. I don't think he was in a porn. I was in like softcore porn movies,
He was
but
in
as a
B-
director
yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much doing what he's doing here,
Yeah.
I guess.
He does look familiar in a way that makes me ashamed.
Like maybe you've seen him on Showtime, like late at night.
Yeah, it's like I remember being ashamed while looking at him. So yeah, he's probably on one of those Showtime
Or
porno movies.
Skinamax. Thank you.
Did you make that up? That's good.
You never heard that before?
No, I have heard
That's
that
old.
before.
Come on, now, come on.
Steven, do you remember?
Yes.
Do you remember why Jimmy wanted to do the documentary? I mean, people could always
no,
turn off
not
the
really.
commentary
And
track and
find
figure
that
it out. But
No, that's
it'd be more
why-
fun for us to try to guess.
No, I have no idea. I don't remember that at all.
This is another crazy
I
thing
just
for
remember
Jimmy to do.
this is the bad acting Jimmy episode is what
I
I
love
remember
that.
because I couldn't.
All I remember about
very
this
stiff.
episode, too, is it was very important that everyone act normal this day for some reason. I think it's kind of what the premise was, and of course, no one,
I think that was-
everyone refuses to act normal.
I think that was the premise of about 50% of the episodes we
Right,
did.
but
which was,
absolutely.
please, today, everyone, I just want this to be
This
a
is
normal
the one
office.
day I need you to be normal. Right, of course, because this guy was here, right? Isn't that the thing? Of course, everyone's acting like a complete moron. Of course, Beth is being unbelievably efficient, right? Isn't that
I
what
wish
the
Vicky
joke
was here because she could tell us how they felt about Lauren Grand coming in to sort of.
Well, maybe we'll do a second commentary track on that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because it was tough. We had what?
There was we had two
8 cast-
gorgeous gals. And,
two gorgeous
who
gals,
were
8
not
cast
very happy
members.
about that.
Oh,
Three
Jesus.
gorgeous gals. I'm sorry.
Which
well,
one-
I keep forgetting which season Andy left on.
This one, I saw it on
Oh,
the list.
okay.
That's
All
why I
right.
knew.
There you go. But yeah, a lot of beautiful women on the show, and they were definitely resentful of having Lauren come in.
And also having 8 cast members to add a 9th is just difficult. But
And we added a 10th too, didn't we? With what's his name? Walt.
oh,
Brad
yeah,
Rowe.
Yeah,
that's an
whatever.
unusually close up for this show, isn't it?
is.
It's scary to
There's
me.
a shadow on Morris' face.
That's strange.
This is Steven doing his
Oh, that's right.
bad
He
acting.
freezes up and the
Freezes
camera
up.
turns on.
You and I both work in. I think we should cut. Great. That felt pretty good.
I like that.
Me alone, Bill Clinton, a whitewater lawn.
Well, the good thing about this episode is it doesn't get dated, you know?
Not in the least.
I remember.
I love that. That looking good.
Well, the
face
Republicans won't let it get dated. That's the problem.
I remember loving Dave in this episode because he got to get really, really mad all the time at Bill, and he would like almost jump into frame, just totally pissed off.
Bill
funny.
Bill was so funny in this. I mean, Phil. I'm just calling him. Phil was so funny in this. It was. How much we were laughing every time we were editing.
Yes.
So we kept running this back. There's one particular shot in here, which we may have passed
I think
already,
we
where
did just pass it.
He makes some face. It's so funny.
Well, there was one right there where Phil was just cracking up himself when he was doing that. He's gay. He's gay.
That's right.
Isn't that artwork in the background? Wasn't that Tony the editor's wife's artwork?
Oh yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
You're right. I think
Yeah,
it
his
is.
wife's a painter.
And that's Andy in the background. In case anyone didn't know.
Yeah, what's Andy's story on this? He's not
I
supposed to
think
be
at the
around?
beginning of this season he got fired.
He was fired, so
yeah.
he's not supposed to be there.
Oh, that's right.
but
yeah.
he still kept hanging around.
That's why he
yeah.
threw him in the garbage pail at the beginning. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Because he was not
Garbage,
supposed
garbage pail. This is
Garbage.
1920.
the garbage trough. What are we calling it these days?
Threw him in the old garbage
The ash
pail.
can.
The recycling bin.
Threw him in the ash can for the old rag picker man to come around.
Boy, is it not
Take him
politically
down to the
correct?
docks.
Is it not politically correct to say
seems like
garbage
this-
can anymore? Is
It
that the
seems like
problem?
this whole episode was lit for Dave's hair because it's all orange.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that might have been still a wig, but look at
I
that.
think it's
Doesn't there
too
seem to be a
short.
joint?
It's 404 because there's only 4 episodes in, so it might still be the wig.
It's too short.
No, it's
and it's
really
also very
short.
red.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
then-
got to be.
It's
No,
got to
'cause
be
the
his
wig-
real
the
hair. The wig looked fake, but
The
it was
wig
right
looked like
color.
a wig. Yeah, they all. Whenever they had wigs, anyone
I
had a
think
wig.
this
it
was
looked like a
the
wig.
one where the episode where it's just like, oh, no, we can use my real hair now. Look, it looks great.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's orange, but it looks fine.
Yeah, why was it orange? They
Because
dyed
because
it, or
before
no?
that it was black. Remember it was.
Oh. So someone tried to. We tried to dye it back for
Back
the
to
show.
his
Is that
normal
what it was?
color.
We tried a lot of things, you know.
We tried to get suits to make him look a little bigger in them. Always look like a little boy.
Isn't this?
Yeah, but Phil's hair is just as orange as his.
Yeah,
It's just-
yeah.
you know?
After every hiatus, everyone would come back with,
With
a different
strange hair.
Stephen, your hair looks
rethinking their
wonderful.
hair.
Thank you. I
Steven
thought I
was
looked
consistent.
particularly good in this
Is it
episode.
possible we're just watching a crummy TV?
I don't think so.
Hold it. Look on the other monitor.
Not
oh,
at
it looks
Sony.
it's completely different.
Not the Sony TV I'm
Did
looking
you,
at.
Steven? Did you
Yes.
ever have a beard on the show?
Yes, for about 3 seconds.
And then
it came down from up on high.
And
that
then
nobody in any show on the network could have a beard.
That
We
was-
had to,
that was-
we had to get rid of it.
that was Don Ohlmeyer's note.
Exactly.
Was the beard part of the show in any way?
No,
or
No,
you just-
actually, it was,
I thought it looked kind of good. It was like the goat. The
yeah, it was a goatee
goatee
kind of
thing.
thing. It was kind of hip, but
Yeah,
no.
but Don Ohlmeyer
that's
said.
when-
I think the same thing happened on ER because Noah Wiley showed up with one. He wanted to keep his too, and
Really?
he said no to everybody. But so yeah, that was that.
I got no problems with a man
That's
with
why
a beard.
What's Don Ohlmeyer doing now?
I don't know.
I really don't know. He was doing some sports thing for a while, but
Old man Congress needs a swift kick
That was a running joke too.
I know. I think
really
some
all I
version
have
of
right
that.
now.
That's really all I have. Joke in the original draft of the script. There was like that happened 5 times.
But that joke went as far back to David Letterman. As
Yeah,
far
that's
back
true.
as we used to do that when we did it. David Letterman would
That's
go.
true.
Yeah. Old Bill Clinton came to. That's all. That's all I have so far.
What? Boy, there's Joe Rogan. I haven't seen him at all in this episode so
No,
far.
he hit Andy
He
once and then he
chased
left,
Andy.
and that was about it.
Which makes me think in the writing process, we probably got to this point in the script and thought, oh, we better write something for Joe to do.
yeah.
Which means probably in the next
Well, I
5
don't think
minutes.
Paul
there'll be
Gleason
something.
says anything in this episode.
He doesn't say very much.
Not,
no,
not
I think that was
maybe
kind of the
one
joke.
word. Yeah.
No, in fact, that is the joke.
Oh,
He
there it
says,
is.
"You don't speak much, do you?" or something. Yeah.
I think he just did it.
Yep.
That was it. That was the
Wow.
joke.
I think, as I recall, too, Paul. Maybe you remember this. Didn't we try and get Mark Russell to be
No.
in this or
No,
watch this or something?
No,
we tried to get him involved.
I don't think so because out of all the people that we like teased or made fun of in an affectionate way, I don't think we felt very affectionate towards him.
No.
I don't think did we
I
talk
thought-
about getting him in it? I mean, I
thought
remember
for some
like
reason we tried
when
to
we-
get him to be like in the background or just do something. you
No,
know.
when we did the Matthew Loves Dilbert episode, we got Scott Adams, the
Right.
author of
Right.
Dilbert, in it. And when we did the arcade episode, we got Eugene Jarvis, the creator of Robotron, to be in
Right.
it. But Mark Russell, who wants to? I mean,
I-
nothing
no, I-
against the man.
For some
but-
reason, it rings a bell like we did it just
He's
as a
no
joke because we thought it would
Eugene
be
Jarvis.
funny.
No, he's not.
What video game did Mark Russell create?
Nothing.
None.
Now, maybe if we'd gotten the Capitol Steps, a cappella group, that would have been something. How did Bill get the piano into the bathroom?
I don't know.
or the elevator?
In the elevator.
Do you mean the comedy section?
Those are things we don't
I know
really-
how he did that.
I don't think that. I think that room works pretty well if you have a piano in it. Maybe we should have had that from the
It
beginning.
was on wheels. That was the joke too. He said it has good acoustics in here or something. Didn't
Oh,
he?
that's
Doesn't
right.
he say that? I
Well, you
think.
have a very good recall for this episode, perhaps because you wrote it.
So she
don't
was
know.
she was brought in by Jimmy to be like the boss or something?
No,
Let me think.
I think it was more of a
what do you call it?
She was a
improved
efficiency expert.
Exactly.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And the guy coming in was doing the
books.
Books or something. People were always doing the books on the show. It was always like, we got to examine the books.
Yeah, you got to bring someone to look at the books. Yeah, she
Someone's
was an
doing that.
efficiency expert to show how things
Horribly
were.
stained that carpet is.
I know. Well, that's I think that might be another reason the bathroom is such a comedy killer. Is it looks filthy? Look at the back.
It
It
does
just
look
looks
filthy.
like
Yeah.
it just
looks like a bathroom.
yeah, it's
Big
dirty.
stain there on the right.
Oh, those papers
Yeah,
on the back.
urine-stained newspapers.
Papers up against the wall.
And those paintings, Jesus. I mean, no, I love the paintings.
And that machine in the back was around, that stupid machine with the
snack machine?
that we actually made a show about.
That's
we ended
right.
up
The
making
coffee
a show about it.
machine?
Yeah, the snack thing.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
it was
yeah,
so
yeah.
filthy and dirty.
Because it was so disgusting that we finally came up with a joke episode about
I'm not
that.
sure, but I think there's a special effect coming up that
Did not work.
That did not work and took a long time to get right. And even when we got it, quote unquote, right,
That's right.
it just wasn't that good.
It was one of those ones, once again, that we used to say. They would tell us it's
Oh,
going to
we
look
got it. Yeah, it's
unbelievable.
gonna be
It's
great.
going to look. It's going to look great, and then it looked like a firecracker went off.
Well, I think we'll let the viewers judge for themselves.
Again, Dave Wright.
That's great.
He just makes me laugh.
Yeah,
guys.
Dave's great. in
Oh,
this.
funny.
That's a good
Oh
guy.
yeah, this is and everyone's smoking for some reason.
That's great.
He's got a flag on that. Where'd that come from?
Who's he singing about?
Another public
Joe
domain
Camel.
song.
Joe Camel.
Joe
Another
Camel.
reference that doesn't date at all. does it? I'm surprised there's not a Spuds McKenzie joke in this.
People are smoking.
Oh, I like this
those are the
joke.
days.
Oh, there's an old friend.
And that was also
That's also an
for
old.
anyone who's ever seen the movie Death Wish 2. That was a subtle.
You don't have
We're
to tell
allowed to
them.
say that, right? It's just a subtle tribute to the movie Death Wish 2. If you'll watch the scene where Charles Bronson playing the character of Paul
Kersey,
Kersey, a vigilante out for justice,
the vigilante.
goes to a restaurant with a bomb hidden inside a wine bottle and blows up 3 drug runners, I believe.
That's right. They're evil. So he brings in a bottle of wine to kill them.
I don't know if it's a Sony DVD release, but even if it isn't, you should get Death Wish 2 and watch that scene because in the
No, it's Death Wish. Actually, Death Wish 4.
Oh,
I believe.
I stand corrected.
That's no, that's all right.
Because if you'll watch the scene,
There's nothing wrong with convincing the audience to watch more Death Wish
that's
movies.
true.
You're doing
but it was a
them a
movie
favor.
that we all became obsessed with.
But if
or
you
at
want
least
a
few
good
of us
place to
did.
start, Death Wish 4, in the scene where he uses the wine bottle as a bomb, and you'll note that in the seconds before he blows the people up, if you look closely, you can see that the 3 actors that were sitting there suddenly have been replaced by horrible-looking mannequins.
Very obvious mannequins.
And the wine bottle goes from a real wine bottle to this painted sort of black.
Right.
Sort of,
And he says the immortal lines, bottle of wine on the house, gentlemen. And then he says, hey, I recognize you. Where you from? And then he says,
Idaho?
Idaho.
And that's what
And
was
the
in
next
here.
part? What part?
No, I got a brother in Idaho. What part?
Boise.
Ta-da!
I know you're enjoying that at home.
fantastic.
yeah.
Now, when you get the DVD and watch it, you're gonna go, "Wow, stunning! How much that?"
Boy, they really wasted a lot of their
really
time paying attention to something that
Oh,
means
I know what
nothing.
you're talking about. This special
Hey,
effect.
oh my
yeah.
God,
Oh,
there it
wow.
is.
That was a good one.
It's terrible.
The fire extinguisher was more impressive than that.
I know. No, but
Oh,
it
no, there's
it blows
something
up
else coming
again.
up, yeah.
It,
This is the part that'll blow you away.
the tape blows
Yeah,
up.
this
I believe.
this
right?
next
Yeah.
part is the part that
Get ready. You better sit down for seeing this one.
this is on par with that scene from Death Wish 4.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
It's over already.
Somehow Joe rigged the tape to blow up. That's what I love. What?
You know, well, he could rig anything.
I know.
Should I blow up
love
this
that.
tape? No, rig it to blow up later.
Rig it to blow up after he takes it out. What?
What was that joke?
Oh,
Bill said
he's
I,
going to talk
yeah,
to
I
him.
can take care of it. I'll take care of the problem. Just bring him to me.
This was when the show really reached kind of the height of like insanity. Too. Some of this, yeah, really.
Start of the insanity.
Yes.
I think it was that moment too. Was when we really started to think like. Wow, we can do a lot of stuff now. He punched that guy in the
Now
face.
that we don't have to worry about it bearing any resemblance to
Yeah.
reality.
Was this
Who
the
cares?
season that came back because you told Rolling Stone that the sandwich thing?
There might have been. I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
We were on the bubble, and
On the bubble. Al, as a Hollywood insider, can you explain what on the bubble
the bubble
means?
means when you blow air in sort of a.
We were perpetually on the verge of being canceled, and this was just yet another season where somehow we slipped through the noose.
Well, we said the news because Paul did an interview with Rolling Stone magazine where he was sort of mad at NBC, and he called their Thursday night a triple decker sandwich, and Paul, you felt really bad after it
I didn't think the guy was going to make it a straight interview. He said it was an article about workplace comedies, but he caught me on a day when I was in a bad mood, and it looked like we were going to get canceled and all was lost, and I just shot my mouth off.
That's always
but
like-
then it turned around.
I
and-
love that. Preston Beckman called Paul going, "You got moxie, kid."
Yeah. Warren Littlefield was like, "I've never been called that before, but you know what? You're passionate, and I like that passion." It was like a bad sitcom episode.
Yeah.
And then he said to you, "Where you from, son?" And you said, "Boise."
Boise.
Wasn't the line up Idaho way?
No, that was up in the Napa Valley. This is
that's up in
new
Napa
wine. I
Valley.
represent the Sawtell Winery up there in the Napa Valley.
Up there in the Napa Valley.
Got a special pressing of our new.
Sampling, I thought you might like it.
Oh, we have just a
Wow.
few seconds left to talk, but if you look back at that last scene when Matthew falls off the piano, he actually grabs the cup and throws it on her instead of knocking it over.
That was nice.
But
was
but
that
the
his
shot
improv?
was so long you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeffrey Goldstein, Orit Schwartz, Lieberman Hirschfeld, all the heavy hitters were here.
Everyone
Lauren
was
Graham,
here.
Paul
Paul
Gleason,
Gleason.
Peter Spellis in the house, Cheryl Kirby knocking them out,
Greg Heshon.
Michael Gallenberg,
Tony Heyman.
Zabornak, Reisner,
Die post.
Maria Valdiva,
Ferrara.
Billy Arter,
Judy.
O'Connell.
all our
Cool.
favorites. Todd Spider Chambers, Petard Sullivan, the good people at Brillston Gray Communications. Good night.
Thank you.